Hello everyone and welcome to Divine Debut. This is Kathy speaking. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all that you do for my channel, for liking, sharing, subscribing and commenting. I do read all your comments. Thank you so much for taking the time out to do that. Now this is a reading on the new moon happening in the sign of Libra. As you can see, I've put the chart at 0 degrees of Aries, as this is a very important new moon happening in the sign of Libra. Now, it is a very important moon because of quite a few factors. Well, it is the time of Libra, so that's why we've got a new moon. So happy birthday, dear Libra. Unfortunately, this new moon, I'm going to say, is going to be quite challenging. And it will be happening at on the 16th of October. This is Greek time, so 10:30 p.m. Greek time. And a new moon, of course, always means new beginnings. Now, the sign of Libra, we know, is all about balance, harmony, justice. Libra is also relationships. It's others. It is others. It's how we harmonize, how we get along with other people. Any relationship doesn't have to be only romantic. Could be business, could be family, could be friendship. These are generally relationships. So a new moon also means that we're starting something new. This is a seed that is planted. Usually the new moon, of course, when it actually happens for you, depending on which area of the world you're living in. So around the 16th, when you look up to the sky, there is no new moon. You cannot see anything. It's dark. Okay, so on the 16th, not the next day, not the day after, but the third night after the new moon actually happens, that's when you can see that small, that very thin, brand new moon in the sky. Now that we do say it's time to plant something, what you intend to be able to grow, send out those wishes to Spirit, ask Spirit for what you wish for. Remember that Libra it's karmic, it's all about justice, it's all about the thought. Libra is the scales. So we're trying to bring in balance and harmony in whatever we're trying to manifest here. Now, this is your wild card, your lucky time. And I'm going to put the lucky in brackets, dear Libra, unfortunately, because this new moon that is happening for you, and we get one new moon in the whole year for our own sign. Unfortunately, it's under much challenge, but I always, always believe in the positive. I always believe that the light wins over the darkness. And I just want to point out here what's going on in the astrology with this new moon, so that you can understand that yes, it is pressure, it's difficult, but it's also very, very lucky, and I'll get into that in a moment. First of all, this new moon is about an awakening. It's an epiphany. It is a supermoon, and that is because it is very close to the Earth, okay? But unfortunately, it's in a T-square. So as you can see here, the new moon is right opposite Mars. Now, Mars is at 20 degrees retrograde in its home sign of Aries. So therefore, it's very strong. We know that retrogrades take us back to the past. It's redirecting the energies. We're turning inwards, trying to do the work. This is like a chance that we're given to redirect those energies, redo things. And remember that Mars in Aries is the warrior. I do see Mars retrograde as the wounded warrior, just like that Four of Swords. The Four of Swords, where you see the warrior, his mind is on those Three of Swords, and he has the fourth sword. Once he heals, once he connects to spirit, has that enlightenment, receives the understanding of why something disappointed him, why his heart was broken, etc., etc. Remember that Mars is the warrior. He's the god of war. Once he has healed, and remember also that the Four of Swords is, I don't move forward. I'm taking a break. I'm taking a hiatus. So it's not about, and Aries is fire, it's cardinal energy. Libra is also cardinal. This is the cardinal cross. So Aries, Libra, Capricorn, and Cancer, they're the four cardinal energies. So Mars wants to move direct and it's not able to. Now it is in an opposition here, okay? Opposing forces. So Mars in Aries is I, me, my. It's the ego. I want to move forward. I want to manifest. I want to create. Fire is all about creation. Fire is passion. Cardinal signs like to initiate change. Remember that all the cardinal signs are at the time of the change of the season, right? So just think about it. I mean, depending on where you are in the world again. Libra is September, of course. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, September is the beginning of autumn, fall. Capricorn is the beginning of winter. Aries is the beginning of spring, and Cancer is the beginning of summer in the Northern Hemisphere. For the Southern Hemisphere, it's the opposite. It works the opposite way. So that's when we plant the seeds. That's when we have change. Cardinal energy is all about change. Cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, and Libra like change. It's healthy for them. They like to instigate change, take charge. They're not ones to sit back and wait. And that's sort of a masculine energy, because masculine is fire, and fire is I'm taking action. I want to create. I have the desire to create, to bring on the change. So as you can see here, this T-square, which is from the new moon in Libra, it is squaring over to the big players here in Capricorn. And the Capricorn stellium is squaring over to Mars, and it is connected with an opposition. Now this is a T-square. What is going on here is that we've got the three cardinal signs that are in a tough configuration. And what this is pressure being built up. Now, with Mars here, we've got Eris. So Eris is in mythology, Eris was the goddess of discord, jealousy, anger, and supposedly she was the sister of Mars. Some people think that she was the sister of Mars, but with mythology there are different views to what happened back then. So she does have a lot of similarities to Mars, and Eris is at 24 degrees. Now Mars, remember, it's the god of war, it's pressure building. We've got the divine feminine, the divine masculine, both under pressure here. And remember that, again, we've got it's me, Aries, against the others, the other person. So an opposition is push and pull. It's like imagine you're on a seesaw, and the person on the left is heavier than the person on the right. For them to find harmony, work has got to be done, right? The energies have got to be equal, and we've got the new moon in Libra, which again speaks of balance and harmony, but also justice, fairness, democracy, being democratic, being the peacemaker. That's what Libra is. Now, usually when we've got the T-square here, which is the three cardinal signs, What's missing here in Cancer is that there are no planets here. So the focal point is here. I mean, the pressure is on these 3 signs here. What is missing here? This is the focus. So Cancer, what's Cancer all about? Cancer is the mother. Remember, the 4th house is ruled by the moon. So it's a feminine energy. Cancer is the home. It's your homeland, if we're looking at this as a collective energy, a worldly energy. So it's your homeland. It's your heritage. It's your actual home. It's your family. It's where you feel safe and secure. It's where you feel loved, nurtured, and provided for. So that's why we've got the ego of Aries. And if you are Aries out there, please don't take this personally. All signs have got their light and their shadow side. Aries is the instigator of change. It's the seed that is planted. And Aries is the warrior. So it's necessary. But there is a side to Aries which it needs to provide for itself as it is the seed. It has not gone home yet so that it can be mothered by the moon, for instance. So that's where the ego comes through, the I, me, my, which Aries needs, as Aries is a leader. Okay, so we've got the ego, the I, me, my, or our. Okay, and this is a bit of a tug of war. So thyself, the individual, and the relationship, my relationship, the others. And we've got Capricorn up here, which is the elder, it's Saturnian ruled. Remember that there's a lot of karma here, Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter here. Okay, and there is pressure here, and we know that there's transformation going on here. I mean, this is the boss. This is the government. This is the bankers. This area here is the law. Who's going to win? What is the pressure here? Is it the home? Is it the family? Is it the one-on-one, is it our microcosmos against the macrocosmos? So my own life, my own security within my family, the security within my country versus the world, versus the government, versus the law, versus karma, whatever we're dealing with right now. This here, this build up of a T square is a lot of pressure, and the focus is on Cancer. Cancer is the child that needs nurturing. It needs its mother's milk. It needs its mother's breast so that it could be nurtured and loved and provided for. Remember that Cancer is very sensitive. So these issues around home, your own personal home, but also your country, the country which you call home, there's a lot of sensitivity about what's going on in our own personal lives, our own personal relationships, as well as the collective. Now, so I've told you the negative, which this is the difficult energy here, this opposition with Eris, Mars, which are very warlike, okay, and the square towards the governments, the bankers, the boss. There is pressure here, okay, as Mars is the warrior. Eris is people taking to the streets and conflict, the people, the individual against the collective, the governments. Whatever that is for you, that's what the energies are playing out as right about around this new moon. Now remember that the new moon, the energies of the new moon, of course, we start something and then we're going to have a full moon, the second consecutive full moon in the sign of Taurus. So the sun will be transiting Scorpio as we're moving into the season of Scorpio, and the moon will be right opposite. So the sun will be in this area here, and the moon will be right opposite here in Taurus. And that will be on Halloween, and that's another incredible moon because it's a blue moon. It's called a blue moon because it's rare that we get 2 full moons in 1 month. So remember also that the full moon starts something and it completes. There is a completion before the next new moon. So this new moon is heralding a new beginning until the next new moon in Scorpio. So we know that we've got a full moon once a month, right? We've got a new moon once a month. That's why I said that the full moon on Halloween is the second consecutive. It is a blue moon. I will be doing another reading on that. So relationships here with the new moon in Libra, they're connected through a square as well to the big players in Capricorn. And what is a square? A square is pressure, but it's also something that will bring change. It's us wanting change. It's us wanting to produce something. Now, for those of you that are in a difficult job, a difficult, suffocating relationship, this relationship will probably not make it past this time. Okay, I do feel that this new moon is calling on us to see if we can find the balance. Have we been standing in integrity? Then if we have, if we've done the work, if we planted that seed, then things will turn out for the better. We may be able to overcome this pressure. But I do feel that it's like we're being put through an earthquake, like we're standing on a tremor. Will we be able to stand? Will that relationship, that connection be able to stand as the tremor is changing the tectonic plates beneath us? Will we be left standing? Will that job be left standing for me? Will I be able to continue that job, that career? If you've been doing the work and not seeing any outcome, if you feel as though you've been fighting an uphill battle and nothing has been shown through it, you haven't seen the manifestation, well, there is a chance that you're not on the right path. What I feel here, because this is a challenging new moon, but it's also a very lucky new moon, and I'll tell you what I think and why I think that. We've got the new moon happening at 23:53. Now we've got 2 very lucky stars that are practically at the same degree. We've got a star called Spica, which is a very positive energy. It's a very, very bright star. It's actually 600 times brighter than our sun. And Spica is depicted on the, when we see the illustration of Virgo. So the constellation of Virgo, right? Virgo holds in her left hand, because it's feminine energy, on her left hand, she holds wheat. She holds the seeds. Even though this new moon is happening in Libra, in astronomy, it speaks of Virgo. Now, Virgo, remember, is all about abundance. The constellation of Virgo holds the wheat, which means manifestation, abundance, innocence. Virgo is very pure. The wheat can speak of glory, splendor, happiness, okay? But only if that seed was planted will this help manifest for you. So think of Virgo. Virgo is the 6th house in astrology, and it's all about providing a service, doing the work behind the scene. Virgo works behind the scene, as Virgo is depicted by the hermit who goes into his cave. He does what he needs to do. He looks at the details, he fine-tunes things, he connects to spirit, he becomes the wiser, and then he's ready to come out into the world. So Virgo works behind the scenes. It's all about the details. It's all about health. It's all about purity, innocence, providing that service. It's also pets. But if you think of Virgo holding in her left hand the wheat, does ring very much like the Empress, receiving the harvest. Remember that Virgo is the divine feminine. That's why I see the Queen of Pentacles as Virgo, could be Capricorn as well, in the tarot. She is the minor arcana of the Empress. She holds that seed, that Ace of Pentacles, which means manifestation, practicality, reality, receiving the abundance. So this new moon, right on Spica, which is a beautiful and very lucky star in the sky. This new moon is all about new beginnings, remember. So there's also another star which is very important, which is called Arcturus. And Arcturus is at 24 degrees and Spica is at 23:50 minutes. So they're right there on the new moon. Now Arcturus is similar to the warrior, similar to Mars. He's very dynamic, he's very lucky, he's very abundant, he gives back. He's got the ability to conquer whatever he's trying to manifest. But this manifestation through Arcturus is through having faced the difficulty, the shadow side. Remember that Spica, which depicts Virgo, right? Look at Virgo, it's pure, it's innocent. Whereas Arcturus is more the shadow side, it's the difficulty. But Arcturus will give you the harvest, will be able to manifest for you as long as you've done the difficult shadow work. That's when we move through the shadows, we do the work, we've planted the seed, and therefore we receive the abundance, we receive the light, we receive the glory and the splendor and the happiness. Remember, only if you've been standing in your integrity and you've planted that seed. So where there is no purity and light, one cannot face the darkness and the difficulties. So remember that there's the yin and the yang, there's the light and the darkness, there's the masculine, feminine, okay? It's all about balance and harmony. And that's why I feel that even though we can see these difficulties, when we know astrology, when we understand this scientific art language, then we know that whatever is going on up there in the ethers, I mean, God is playing chess. That's how I see it. God is playing chess and he moves the planets, and the planets are energies which then reflect onto our own personal lives and this 3D plane and the life we are living right now. There is a reflection. The sky, Uranus, with the earth, Gaia, and Gaia was the one who gave birth to Uranus. So Uranus is a part of Gaia. Remember that Gaia is Mother Earth. So the moon here, the fourth house, is the mother, it's the uterus, that's where the seed is planted. That's where the mother gives birth to the child, okay? And therefore Gaia, the earth, with Uranus, there is a mirroring effect. Gaia is feminine, she gives birth, she's the mother, and the sky is the divine masculine. And they reflect each other. So that's why I think that this new moon, even though it looks quite treacherous and very challenging, we do have those lucky stars that are right on this new moon. So what I feel is that there is so much abundance out there for the world. There is so much that one can produce. Okay, even though we're going through challenging warlike times in the year 2020, and we're at the last 2.5 months of the year 2020, remember that the challenge that we see that is reflected onto our lives, that's also an internal challenge that we're going through. Remember that Mars and Eris, they also come through us. We have those energies within us. We also have the energies of those bright stars, those lucky bright stars, which can bring abundance, happiness, manifestation. Okay, so there's the internal, there's the external. We all have the energies that we're working with outside of us and within us. Now, it's a time of communicating the truth. This difficult energy here, as you can see, there are so many challenges here. We've also got Mercury right across from Uranus, and I have done a Mercury retrograde video for each individual sign, and you can listen to the collective part of the reading. That's where I speak of what else is going on here, as Uranus is here. Uranus is the sky, right? It's the ethers. And we've got little Mercury here trying to bring up things that have been hidden in the depths of Scorpio, trying to communicate, to therefore bring a transformation. And this can also be freaky weather, as I've spoken about as well, as Taurus is the sign of the earth, the sign of values as well. So there are strong transformations going on in all our lives, and it's got to do with our health as well, as Hygeia is also in a square to Mercury retrograde, as well as to Uranus. This could be a very harsh time of, think of the Nine of Swords, a lot of stress, maybe sleepless nights, not being able to sleep, worrying about the future. Just try and take a step backwards, take a deep breath, and try and come from a place of love. We are going through a major transformation. 2020 is a restart of the world and of our own personal relationships. This is the stripping of the ego. There needs to be no ego. We need to come from a place of love. Remember, Neptune, unconditional love. This is spirit here. It's right opposite Venus and Virgo. Are we providing a service in love? Are we doing the work? Virgo is the house of work. What are we producing? Are we producing? Are we producing for our own practical benefit, or are we producing for humanity as a whole? We are all one. Okay, Neptune in Pisces, very strong. And this opposition will be exact a couple of days after the new moon. So this is, we can create whatever we want to create. This is a very creative time. Are we creating a spiritual connection? Are we with another person? Are we creating a spiritual future? Are we connecting to spirit and being enlightened? Are we balancing out our chakras? Are we balancing out our life? Are we coming from a place of love? And I wanted to point out also that those people, because as you can see, we've got the new moon at 23, almost 24 degrees of Libra. The tough energies here again are on the last degrees of Capricorn, as well as here with Mars. We've also got Black Moon Lilith, which can be someone losing their mind. She's very dark, very challenging. So the cardinal signs of Aries Capricorn, and Libra, those who are born at the last degree, so let's say the last 10 days of the sign, your life is going through major transformation, especially you are affected. Everyone else, the degrees before that, so the first decan, second decan, so the first 10 days, second 10 days of the cardinal signs, they've already done the work, obviously. So even though it's a challenging time, remember, it's like that diamond in the rough. You know where diamonds are made, at the base of a volcano. So imagine the pressure there. That's what happens, as I've been talking about a birth. Having those birth pains. Yes, the birth pains are here. We're feeling them. We will be getting the signs of when it's time to push, okay, as we are giving birth to something new on a personal and on a collective scale. So change is necessary. We are shedding the old, bringing in the new. And from now until the end of the year, we're going to hear a lot that will be rising up from the depths of Scorpio, a lot of information that will be coming to our understanding on a personal and collective scale. For instance, I heard that those people, such and such, have gone through separation. I've heard that such and such went bankrupt. These are things that we will be hearing about people that we know, relationships that aren't going to be making it, relationships that will be making it. As I said, we need to be put on the right path. And 2020 is like stripping away all of the old, and we're rising up from our ashes and being reborn. This is a rebirth of life, of the earth, of humanity. So I get the goosebumps as I say that. I want to take one card from the Gaia Oracle to see what is going on, and I will read from the booklet, just asking Spirit what we need to know for this new moon in Libra. And personally, I just received a message saying that these people that I know, their relationship is done. So let's see what Spirit wants us to know. Wow, we've got apprehension. Apprehension, number 18, and the message says moving out into the world, doubt and fear. And I will read from the booklet. It's time to get going. There is nothing to fear. Take the first step, just do it, and you will find that all will work out for you. The longer you procrastinate, the harder it will be. It's understandable that you feel unsure of yourself. The first step is sometimes the hardest. You have much to offer, and you will realize this as you move out into the world. Be brave. Even if you initially make mistakes, you will be well received. Treat every day as a learning experience. As your confidence increases, so too will your self-esteem and success. You are a sincere and beautiful person. Do not doubt yourself. And the affirmation is, I surrender my fear and replace it with love. I surrender my doubt and replace it with confidence. I see myself moving out into the world with ease. I give thanks for all I learn and experience. Each new day is full of possibility. And that is the message from Spirit around this new moon in Libra, everyone. Just wanted to also mention that Chiron is here in Aries as well. So this is that open wound. This could be psychological wounds, physical wounds. This could be childhood conditioning from a past lifetime. Remember, Chiron was the healer. He became the healer through trying to heal his own wounds. And remember that the Chiron was the half man, half horse. He was a centaur, and when he was born, he was left to the side. People turned their backs to him because he was weird. So this is someone that's feeling that they don't fit in. So if there is any energy like that happening for you, know that there will be healing, because Chiron does bring that healing. And remember, we've got a trine over to Hygeia, which means health in Greek. So I do feel that there is going to be healing energies as well with whatever's been going on with the coronavirus on a collective scale. And not only is it a physical wound, I mean, with the lockdown and the masks and everything, the social distancing, we're starting to have psychological issues. We're starting to be afraid of hugging someone, kissing someone, holding their hand, togetherness. That physical distancing is more of a psychological issue. And that I feel is the hardest of all to overcome, everyone, because I do feel that the coronavirus healing method, whatever that's going to be, will come through. It's the psychological and the social distancing, and I don't want to touch you and I don't want to be too close to you, just in case you breathe, I spit in your face or whatever it is. Okay, that's the biggest wound of all, which we have to overcome. All right, so it is a very fated time, very, very fated time indeed. So Mars is right here. It's sextiling the North Node, which is helpful energies. And it's also trining over to the South Node. So this is help from Spirit so that we can shed the old and move towards the new. And moving towards the new and our fate, our new path, is not easy, as the help is a sextile, and sextile means we need to do the work. We need to have the guts to take action and get out into the world and speak our minds and speak our truth, to overcome and to bring the regeneration of what is to be born. All right, everyone, I think I will leave it there, as I need to also, I'm going to be doing a Mercury retrograde for each sign tarot reading, so look out for that. I want to thank you all so much. I'd love to hear your comments. Thank you so much for your support through liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. If you are new to my channel, please remember to subscribe and press that little notification, as I'm uploading quite a bit recently. Times are busy. Capricorn is hard work. We're climbing that peak, the peak of the mountain, remember, and we need to keep going. All right, everyone. Love and light, many blessings.